Welcome back to another episode of the Roll Block podcast on the Big East Energy Network. Joined as always by Xavier Great Kenny Freese and Jason, aka Cap Meyer. My name is Coop Ledford. Today we are joined by one of the best Xavier players of all time. He's the best free throw shooter in Xavier history, ranks third all time in assists, fourth in minutes played, seventh in points scored. He was the 2011 A10 Player of the Year. He went to the NCAA tournament 4 times, 3 Sweet 16s. He's 3-1 in the shootout. Truly one of the best players to ever put on a Xavier jersey. And on January 24th, that number 52 jersey will be retired. His name's Holloway, and he's here with us now. How are you?
I'm fine, guys. Thanks for having me. Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
I've heard Coop give that like little intro spiel for probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 players at this point, and that was probably 30 seconds longer than every other one.
Man, they probably not as decorated as me. That's what comes with the game.
That's right. What it is.
I gotta say this right from the beginning here. A friend of the podcast, Ahmad, we texted him earlier and asked him if there's any questions that he had for you because he's a huge Xavier fan.
Right.
And he said, I don't have any questions for him. He just tell him thank you from the bottom of my heart.
And that was from who?
That was from our friend Ahmad. He's a
okay.
huge Xavier fan, good friend of the podcast. And he's like, I don't got any questions for him. Just tell him thank you for his 4 years.
Ahmad, appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, there you go. But too, man, we talk a lot about just like, the last few years since I got back home and we started doing the podcast and watching Xavier basketball with Miller's first year. That's really when I got back into it, and just how like the standard of Xavier basketball feels like it's not the same anymore. And like me and you are perfect examples of that. Like coming from what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about that? Have you watched the team at all this year? Anything like that?
Yeah, well, that's difficult because I feel like sometimes selfishly we want the culture to be what we like. We want it to be how it felt when we were there, and it's also with the coaches. Like I always wanted our coach at Xavier, like even after us, to be someone that's from the program. But naturally, things change. We just have to adapt to what it is. Teams are not going to be as gritty as we were. Maybe we were too gritty. That's why we got in fights and shit like that. You understand? So sometimes things have to change. Like so. As long as we win, and we got to accept, like, we had think about it, like, in all reality, during that time, you were the highest recruit. You probably had no business signing to Xavier, to be honest. So you probably should have been on going to Michigan State or Ohio State or one of those schools, and then they go get me, who they take from a Big Ten school, and they get Cheeks, who could have went somewhere else, and Jordan Crawford, who went to a Big Ten school, so we kind of changed the mold because in all reality, it was guys that really shouldn't even been on that team.
Yeah, I was talking to CJ about that. We were talking to, you remember Justin Ferris?
Yeah,
Jetty. Jetty. We were at the Texas game last year, and somebody asked CJ how much money they thought I could have made NIL, and Justin Ferris was like, "We'd had to sell the Cintas for him."
Yeah, for sure, bro. Like we would have been cheating. We'd have been like the Yankees at an A10 or something. Like everybody got to get $1 million when we playing against other schools that probably budget might be like a $250,000. We got one Kenny making more than the whole team over there, something like that. So it wouldn't have been fair. It worked out how it was supposed to. Yeah, we could have more money right now, but it worked out how it was supposed to, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. I just, man, I think back to those times, and like obviously now everything has changed with Pitino, and I don't think it's a bad thing per se. I think what he's been able to do in his first few months as a head coach has honestly been really impressive. Obviously coming in late with the transfer portal, not having a lot of time, probably the budget not where he wants it to be, but I mean, I think it's a good step in the right direction, and that's not, I'm going to probably get a lot of hate for this. That's nothing negative about Miller, but at the end of the day, like Miller's my coach. He was your coach. I know that you got love for Miller just like I do, and CJ's been all over Twitter blocking people because they're talking shit about Sean Miller, but that's just the nature of the beast, man. You know how it goes with fans, but Man, it's so good to talk to you, dude. I'm
Yeah.
just get it in like all the stuff for your jersey retirement, talking to you guys, talking to Joe and Ate and Feeney and all those dudes that are coming back in town. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I was excited about having, the main thing when I look at like jersey retirement with everything is you see like the play out there with their family, which is always how it's supposed to be. But to be honest, I feel like all my interactions with you guys personally helped me attain that goal of being honored to get my jersey retired while I was there. So it's important that you guys there with me because without when I come to Cincinnati, I don't have joy coming to Cincinnati unless I see Kenny Freeze or I see CJ. Like it's just not the same. It's
Yeah,
actually making me sad to be in that place without y'all there because all my memories is with y'all. Like I didn't do
yeah,
anything there without y'all.
yeah,
So, on jersey retirement night, like when they go hang my jersey up, like I want all y'all to be on the court with me. Like if the whole Centos Center want to come down at halftime and they let them on the court, like I'll be okay with them being on the court too. I want it to be like when we won, the regular season title at the end of the season when we all
yeah,
down there with our families and the fans cutting jerseys down. Like,
yeah,
that's my best memory in that place. It's not even like the one a special game or nothing like that. It's literally I'll never forget that image of like I think it was our junior year, like all our families and friends and the crowd is on the court with us, and we like damn we
yeah.
just won the A10 again. So
Right.
that's
Yeah,
that's the feeling I want in that place. Like all of us just being together and being able to celebrate, going to practice with each other, playing in games, everything we had to do, the early morning, waking up, running sprints, doing treadmills, like that's the part that helped me understand, outside of my actual family, you know, being a part of the Xavier Musketeers was the the next thing to my family that I realized would be something that's like bigger than you.
What's up, y'all? There was a slight audio blunder here, and Two's video's about to go off, but show goes on. Hope you enjoy.
like it really becomes like a brotherhood, and I know that's like cliche to say, but I can get on and I can
Yeah.
talk with you or Brad or Dante or CJ, and like we all know what we went through. You know what I mean? So it's easy for us to sit down. Like we just got on the phone for like a half hour the other day, and it was just like a random day we were talking, and because we have those shared experiences and all of that. But man, I honestly, it's really for me, it's a proud moment to see one of my teammates get their jersey retired because when I look back at that time and we can fight with anybody we want to fight with. Like we may have of those 4 years we were playing, we may have had one of the best Xavier teams to ever be on the court. So for me, it's like it's fun to think back and remember those times.
Yeah, because it was like I said, we grew up, we went from basically age 18, 19 to 22 while we were there. And it was just a great because we didn't know what we were capable of doing while we were in school to begin with.
Right.
We were there, we were just trying to figure things out. Like you thought scoring 10 points was a lot. I thought scoring 10 points a lot. But when you look back at it, you could have averaged a double double. If you right now with the information that you could have played harder.
Yeah.
You could have been an 18 and 10 guy. I could have did more, but we were just figuring things out, bro, in the midst, just like every other college kid. But it was so much fun, and now we look back, we become pros, and we like, damn, I miss Kenny. I need Kenny. I didn't want to play with him no more. Shit, that's who I need to be with right now. He understood me. I understood. You
Yeah.
understand? Like it's weird when
Yeah.
you get older. You
Do
know
you
how
remember
it is, bro.
do you remember sending me a picture? It was probably about 2 months after we graduated. You were work no, I was it was right at the beginning of our first pro season. You sent me a picture of you standing with another 7-footer. And
Yeah,
it's
we we,
you
we was
text
in
me,
Belgium.
yeah, you were like, "Does
Yeah,
this make you feel some type of way, big fella?"
yeah, we was in
And
Belgium.
to be honest with you, it kind of made me angry. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he was like 7'5", bro, my
Yeah, yeah.
teammate in Belgium, and I remember you don't meet people tall like that. So the
No,
first
no.
motherfucker I think of is you.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I
man, like
remember sending that.
I guess like for me, I was on this show as a guest a while back, and then obviously then we started hosting together a few years ago. But my favorite Xavier memories have been picked through and all that. But what if you had to pick like one or two of your favorite memories? What would you say they would be from Xavier?
Like just like the games.
I mean, really
Anything.
anything. Like we, I tell them all the time, like my favorite memories, I probably can't say on camera. But
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I said the game is
yeah, right.
um if I had to say the favorite.
It's tough, man. It really is. We had a lot of good times, a lot of good games.
Like if I could think of games, I was saying going to beating St. Louis in the our senior year, because they basically told us like if you guys lose to St. Louis a third time, y'all not going to the tournament.
Yeah,
So I would say that game. And when we went to Florida and beat them our sophomore year,
yeah,
I think you might have had a double that game.
yeah. That was
Or
like that was one of the best games of my sophomore season.
yeah, you played mad good. You love and JC.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all played good. We went and beat Florida.
The other one that was
Um,
crazy was when we went to LSU. That was
yeah,
our fresh. That was
that's
our
one of my
freshman year.
favorite games because I started that game too. I remember,
Yeah,
and I remember looking at ESPN before that game, and all the analysts picked them. Like, there's no way Xavier could come in here and win. I'm a big football guy. Like, I love college football way more than college basketball. I just love football in general more than basketball. So I remember um riding there and seeing like Death Valley. I think that's the name, like they call the stadium. And I'm like, wow, like we really here.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was.
and I
The
remember
thing I
that.
remember the most about that game was, you know, like Book and all those dudes, like because you know Miller and Mac were all about like making sure that we had the X's and O's and all that. But then like Book is getting on me. Like I can't remember what the dude's name was, but he was like one of the best players on their team. He was a big guy. He was like, "This is going to be a rough night for you," and I like
Yeah.
that. Whenever they did, it was just
Their bigs was Tasman Mitchell. He was like a
yeah,
top high school recruit, and then they
yeah,
had Chris Johnson, skinny center, like lanky, and Tasman Mitchell was like a stretch four,
yeah,
strong.
yeah. Right.
So it was just we freshmen and you playing a lot of minutes, a SEC matchup. So of course it was gonna
Right.
be a big night, but we handled business, bro. We went down there and handled them.
Dude,
Yeah.
we had, but that first year with Miller was like it was a wake up call for me because I remember like, you know, with me and Jason were always cool, but like obviously we're fighting for the same minutes, so
Right.
there's going to be a little bit of that competitive nature there. And I just remember like getting into those big games and being like, this is when I'm really going to take my spot. This is when I'm going to start
Yeah.
earning my minutes because I'm going to show that I can compete with these dudes and you know,
Yeah,
obviously Jason was such a hard worker, man. It was like, you know, I was a hard worker, but not like him. You know, like he was just
because the talent level was not even close between you and him, but his fundamentals and his approach to everything, that's where him being like a couple years older than us could win you out because
right.
it's like I'm just going to not come late. I'm going to be super attentive in all meetings. I'm going to know how to guard the pick and roll. So
Yep.
that's where he will always excel. And it'll be like, all right, we don't know if Kenny gonna know what's going on right now. Same with me because we were young. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, that's
But
why like with Dante, like Dante basically was a starting point guard because it was like, all right, we don't know if two gonna be able to process going on the road and playing at LSU at 18, 19 years old. He never
mhm,
been here before.
yeah.
Going
It's
to
just
Virginia. You remember we went to Virginia, beat them by like 20 or something our freshman year. I think we went to Virginia.
yeah,
So
dude, the best story I got about Virginia is I went out there and in the first like 2 minutes I was in the game, I shot a three and made it. And then like three possessions later, I shot another one. And Miller pulled me off the court. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing, Kenny?" Because
yeah,
you know, like,
Miller.
I mean, I was only like that would have only been like our fifth or sixth game as
Yeah,
freshmen,
it was early in
and
the. I remember, I never forget when Miller. We got out of practice, and I never really even told this story before. But we in practice, and Miller, when I got to the locker, it was a picture of him at Pittsburgh, and it had like whatever amount of assists, like 800 assists. He like, yo, you need 795 more assists to reach me. I'm thinking myself, motherfucker, I'm scoring, bro. Like, I ain't passing that ball like how you couldn't score like that. You had to pass. Like, my
yeah,
shit gonna say 1,800 with 500 or something. Your joint gonna say 1,000 and nah,
Yeah.
that it's still gonna add up, but it's gonna be different numbers at the end of the day. Like
Right.
I never forget that. Then we at his house for like a little cookout. Next thing you know, he challenged me to 100 free throw contest. Like who could shoot the best out of 100. Then we in Centaur Center random day. He challenged me to another 100. So every time I see him, it got to the point we were just shooting 100 free throws at a time. I might have beat him like once, but he was determined not to let me beat him.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that style
Miller's
is
a different
different.
monster, man.
Yeah.
But no, it's crazy though how
Yo,
um
hold up 1 second. Yo, you two, I know you just not on a podcast, bro. I know you two got some kind of questions or something, man. Like,
Oh, I got a lot too, but I'm
yeah.
just letting you guys go at it, man. This is pick and roll. I feel like I'm Brad Redford, and it's like Kenny and two can play PNR all they want, man.
Nah, man, me and Kenny could do this all day. You guys jump
Yeah.
in, pause a little
But I
bit.
appreciate it, man. Too. It's funny being here with you. I remember the first time I met you was TBT. I'm in the locker room, and I'm already just like stargazed in there. You know what I mean? And I hear you're in the corner, like I think next to Trey, and I hear you yelling across the room like 3 or 4 times. And I'm in the back of my mind, like, there's no way 2 Holloways yelling at me. And like
Right.
4 times, like someone's tapping me, like, yo, 2 wants to see you. And I'm like, I go and talk to you. And it's because my forces were dirty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way the best point guard in Xavier history is chewing me out about my forces right now. I just couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
No, it's an honor to have you here, man. Like, I knew Mark
Yeah.
really, really well, and all he does is talk about you, man. So, like, I was kind of interested just to talk about that brotherhood, man, because, like, I know you and Mark go way back, and you talked about competing with him. Like, what's your relationship like with him?
It's amazing, you know. I wholeheartedly feel like I wouldn't be the player that I am without being able to compete against him every day. You know, because to be honest, I first played against Mark probably when we were like 14 years old. You know, he being from Schenectady, I'm being from Hempstead, Long Island. So, you know, we'll run across each other from time to time. And one thing about being from New York, like this is point guard central. So before you gotta go compete against anybody else in the country, you know, in New York, we gotta go through all the it's in my high school class alone, we probably had 10 top 150 point guards. Forget players, just point guards alone.
Yep.
Like, you know, in high school in New York, you know, we had Kimball Walker, who was the highest rated. We had Truck Bryan, went to West Virginia. Um, Irvin Walker went to Florida. Then you got me, Mark. Then you go to you know, New Jersey. You got Tyshawn Taylor. You got Mike Rosario. That went to both. Mike was a McDonald's American. Went to Rutgers. Ty went to Kansas. Gion Fontaine went to Fordham first, and then USC. Then you know, you got guys, but just New York City. This is New York alone. It's 15 of us that we got to play against before we go outside of our state.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that was just a part of the competitive nature that we had already. So then we get to school, and you know, I known him, you know, we kind of was excited. Part of the reason of going to Xavier, you know, was knowing he was already committed. And I'm like, well, I'm the point guard, you the shooting guard, and we gonna play. But just being at school with each other every day and literally trying to rip each other head off during practice, but protecting each other outside of that.
Yeah.
Like it's plenty of times that Kenny will tell you that, like, we'll wrestle and fight in practice and nobody will stop us. It'll just be like, yo, just leave them alone. They gonna figure it out until they figure it out. Because whoever stopped us, 9 times out of 10, me and him were probably going to jump them. So it was like, yo, just leave them alone and let them figure it out until they ready to play together again today. But that's literally how it was being there. But he made me sharp because he's faster than me, he's taller than me, he's more athletic than me. So I had to not have no, I had to like focus up so much. 'Cause to be honest, after my freshman year, it wasn't like how people thought. Like they probably thought I would play a little better. So to be honest, like Coach Mack recruited Mark. So you know, Jordan Crawford and Mark both was sitting out. So in all reality, it's like, all right, two showed us what he could do. That's not enough. Let's make sure that Mark is ready to be our starting point guard and Jordan Crawford ready to be our starting shoe guard this upcoming season. So I kind of sensed that. Like coming into our sophomore year, and that just made my focus just ramp up to another level. But it was because he was there. If I didn't have that fear of losing my position, I wouldn't have been the player I was. But because he was there, and I had to always make sure I was sharp.
dude,
that helped me out so much.
That's crazy to me because
Yeah.
there was never a time in my whole career that I ever thought that Cheeks was going to take your spot at point guard.
Yeah, because I remember things vividly. I remember coming into practice like sophomore year. We had the things on the board, like team one, clearly the starters, team two, the next group, and team three and four, just a guy. And I remember coming into practice and I'm on team two.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. They think this shit is a game. All right.
Yeah.
All right,
Man,
okay.
that's because in
Yeah.
my mind it was
I
always
never told nobody this before though, like
I
that. So
know,
That's
right?
wild.
It's crazy to me
yeah,
because in my
so
mind it was always like that year it was always going to be you, Cheeks, and Jay Craw, and then obviously you had uh,
yeah.
Dante in there too.
It
But
eventually became that once,
yeah,
we got comfortable for a minute. We had that stretch where we were starting, me, Cheeks, Dante, JC, and then you or Jamel at center.
yeah,
Typically you most of the time. So even when we went to Butler, that was the starting lineup that our
right,
sophomore year when we went to Butler.
yeah.
But yeah, that was the focus because I had someone, just as good as me, trying to get my spot basically that I felt was my spot at the time. So that
See
really,
that? Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy because you can get so wrapped up in the shit that you got going on that like that was the furthest thing from my mind. Like I was always just like, well, two's definitely the starting point guard. He's in the spot, and I remember thinking like, I got to beat these motherfuckers out if I want to get some playing time. So like, I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about that you were worried about that.
yeah,
Not
definitely
worried,
was,
not
bro.
worried, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like thinking about it. That's wild, dude.
yeah, that was
I would have
literally.
never in a million years guessed that you were nervous
Yeah,
about
nah, I seen the play, bro. I had to stop it. I seen the play.
that. But dude, that was, I mean, and people talk about, I mean, we're like all this stuff that happened with Miller in the offseason, leaving, however people feel about
and I
that. Like,
and I wanna speak on that. See, I don't have a thought. I'm mad at people who feel a certain way about that, who's been in his shoes before. Cause I'm gonna say some people never don't know what it's like to have to. At the end of the day, I feel no way towards Sean Miller. I'm just grateful for his contributions that he gave to the program while he was there.
yeah,
We work hard every day to make a job. I mean, to get a job to continue to make more money. He didn't like when he was there. He gave his all to the program. He got us back to the tournament. I love Still. Still is one of my favorite guys on earth. But after Still didn't get the tournament. Miller get us back to the tournament. Cool. We supposed to just be thankful for that.
yeah. But I think
Because
like, but that's the point that I was trying to make is like, we lived through it. We
yeah,
were in the locker room the day that Miller came in and he was sweating through his shirt with a towel on his head, talking about how much he apologized. Because I mean, I don't know if he told you this shit, but like when I was getting recruited, it was like, I promise you, I'm not going anywhere. And he told me that. He told
yeah,
me that from the time I was a freshman.
yeah.
And
But
like,
but
but at the
that comes
same,
with that comes
yeah,
with the game. Like that
yeah.
just in
Oh, and
his
that's why I
mind.
said I've
Yeah.
never been angry at Miller for leaving. Like
Miller
if it
didn't
was,
recruit me, bro. Miller told Book
yeah, that's
one
true.
day. Miller told Book, "Yo, listen, man, two got to come here," and that's how it went down. But I didn't get recruited like by
Yeah,
Xavier. Like I was living there. One day I'm in the office. All right, you're no longer going to Indiana. All right, yeah, he got to come here, and that's
yeah,
just how it went down. But that comes with the game, bro. Like these coaches is going to say he didn't know that we were going to be so good that Arizona's going to want him. Like he didn't
right.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you
And
feel
that's
me?
and
Like.
that yeah, and
Yeah.
like that's like to me, it's like if any one of us had gotten a call in the offseason like, hey, I got $5 million for you to come play for this team, we'd have all been like, fellas, I love you, but I'm out.
Yeah,
Like I'm
he
going to
did
get the money.
when the Arizona thing happened. He probably was like, "All right, whatever age, I made millions." He probably was on the brink of retirement,
Yeah,
and then next thing you know, he go back to Xavier. He take them to the tournament again, and shit. Texas won me. Shit, I was just retiring 3 years ago. Like these are things that come about. Like it's not. You don't know who's gonna be the coach at a certain place. Things happen so much overnight, bro.
yeah. No,
Lane
no,
Kiffin could have told his family and his like, I'm not leaving Ole Miss. Look what I did. All of a sudden, I'm at LSU. Like,
Yeah, I think
you
he
feel me?
actually
Like,
did do that. I'm pretty sure. But
yeah,
I want to
nah,
hop in the
facts.
time machine here real
Yeah,
quick, and I'd like to get both of your guys' thoughts on this. I'd be curious to know when you're a freshman, you get to Xavier, you meet Kenny. What's your first impression of him?
He might be like at that point, like top 2 or 3 biggest people I ever seen. So of course you want to
Yeah.
see like how good someone is at that. Like, all right, he's big. Let me see if he can play. But he was definitely cool. You know, me and Kenny connected since day one. We lived a different lifestyle, but we always friends. You know, we like because I just wasn't like much of like, "Two, what you doing later?" I'm like, Kenny, I'm in the crib. So after a while, he stopped even asking like, "Where you going?" Because he knew like, man, if he I ain't really doing what he doing, like, however, ain't gonna be in the same places.
Yeah, it
Shit
was.
like that.
Hey, I knew
So
I needed to go. I needed to go talk to Cheeks about that.
Who doesn't
yeah,
have a
so
Pokemon card collection, Ken?
I
nah.
wasn't playing with Pokemon cards in college. I can tell you that much.
So, but we definitely connected on the court and all that.
Yeah.
But I
Right,
remember the first impression, it was cool.
but
What
man,
about you, Ken?
dude, I remember the very first time I met Two. Somebody called him Tutu, and I was like, "There is no fucking way that's it." And I refused to call him that for probably a week because I thought people were fucking with me. I was
Right.
like, "There's no way that they're calling him Tutu." And then, like, obviously, like ESPN2 became just like a thing, and it
Oh
was
Right.
like,
yeah.
it was a whole thing, and like, now, like when people call, like I've never heard anybody call you Terrell, right? Like
Right.
you're only two, but like people
Yeah.
when somebody calls Cheeks Mark, it
Yeah.
like it messes with my head a little bit. I'm like, who are
Nah.
you talking about? Because we never
Right.
called. He called himself Cheeks.
Right.
Like it was like you're not.
You know,
Nobody called him.
these are family names.
Yeah,
So
right,
you know,
right.
these are names that like. So if you hear someone say Tutu, I
Yeah,
gotta look because that means like, damn, this might be someone that know me my entire life calling me this or something like that.
right,
Like if you
right.
hear, so these are cheeks too. Like these are names that we heard more than we heard our actual names in our real house. You know, like it
I can't
feels
remember.
weird.
I can't
Hey,
remember.
Cap can relate to that.
Somebody said it was they called Cheeks because he had really big cheeks when he was a baby or some shit.
Yeah, yeah,
And
something like that.
I remember one of somebody in his family telling me about that, and I
Yeah,
remember being like, all right, that makes sense. But
yeah.
I've always
We
been too
black.
afraid to ask.
but
where
it's
that came
but like
from.
the thing is, it's like it's funny because in like the heat of the moment in the game, you're still calling each other these names, and it had to sound
Yeah,
so stupid. Like we're
yeah.
screaming at Cheeks, or you guys are screaming at me, and like, and like it's so weird. But like to be honest with you, what you were saying before about just like being the player, you would have never been the player that you were without all of us and blah and all that. But like, dude, I came from playing basketball in Ohio, right? Like
Mm,
for probably up until I was 18 years old, playing with just kids from my area. It wasn't anything crazy other than when I would go play like AAU and go to
yeah,
the
you
Nike
tournaments,
camps and
right?
stuff. But like I remember the intensity of the game and like how I always took basketball seriously. It wasn't about that, but just like the do or die, live or die type thing. The way that the intensity that you brought to the game, it completely changed the way that I felt about basketball for as a whole, because it was like, I wanted to make sure that I was always in a position that I was helping the team win, and we all were moving towards this goal together. And if I wasn't picking up my slack, like I I don't know if it was I don't know if people could see it on TV or in the Cintas Center or you're watching the game, but like we used to go at each other, bro. And Two and Cheeks, like there were times when I would get like angry because I felt like they were yelling at me because they were angry at me. But like, and obviously, like if I miss a pass or if if I don't catch a ball in a dunk or if I miss a layup, like that's an assist for them, and I get all that stuff. But like, it wasn't even really about that. It was
Yeah,
about the
was
fact
it?
that
Yeah,
you guys just wanted to win the damn game. So when I got to a point where I felt like I was really confident in what I was doing, like especially in my junior senior year, like I feel like that's when we all really got really close because there was a thought with the whole team that like we had to hold each other accountable, even
yeah.
though
It was love.
some of us were doing stupid shit off the court, that's for sure. But like when it got to
We young, so
yeah,
we all were. You know,
right.
we
But
all
when it
did something
but,
we weren't supposed to be
right.
doing.
But when it got
But
between the
like,
lines, man, we were a family, bro.
yeah, I'm gonna speak on the intensity where we come from. Like, like for many of us, like you come from certain inner cities that we come from. Like this, we don't have nothing else. You understand? Like as we get older, we have kids, we get college degrees, and then we see how how so many options we have. But like when someone tell me at 18 years old, like, yo, you got an opportunity the next 4 years to go change your life forever.
Yeah.
So is or someone from your neighborhood could say, yeah, you got 4 years to go figure it out, or not, you're gonna be back here with me for the next 50 years. Like this is something someone would say to you.
Yeah.
So you like, nah, hold up. I'm flying on these private planes. I'm making money. I'm not making money yet, but I got a chance to make some money eventually. Oh
Mhm.
no, I can't go back to that. So that's the intensity. Like we get judged in our neighborhood. Like, did you win it? Like I'll call my grandmother. Yeah, grandma, I'm in the I'm in the AU tournament in California. Oh, did y'all win?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that's all that matters is like, yo, did
Mhm.
you win or lose?
Yeah.
So that was the intensity. Like, just growing up in different households, it was like it was nothing else but to be super. We know how important it meant to be able to now. This is my 13th season as a pro. Like I knew that that's the life I wanted for myself. Not to say, oh yeah, I played out at Xavier and then I ain't know what to do for the rest of my life. Cheeks in his 12th, 13th season right now. That's why our intensity was so high because from a little kid, that was the main thing they told us. Like, yo, you guys got to use basketball to go create a life for yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was
It was
our approach.
see for me it was like it was obviously like it was a little different for me because I always wanted to play football, man. I'm from Massillon,
Yeah,
Ohio. I'm from
yeah,
like Massillon, Canton, Ohio. Like I wanted to play football there was nothing stopping me from that. I was a tight end and I loved that shit.
right.
But then it was like, I'm in sixth grade and I'm 6 foot tall. And then by ninth grade, I'm 6'9". By my senior year, I'm 7 foot. And it was like, you're not doing anything but playing basketball.
Yeah,
And
we're playing
I
ball.
love, but the thing was, is like, I was good at it. So,
Yeah.
it was easy for me to work on it because I was just like, I had some natural gifts that got me where
Yeah,
I needed
yeah.
to be.
You're
But like,
more agile than a regular footer. You was able to move and play how
man,
you wanted.
these
Yeah,
days,
shoot,
too,
pass.
I'm not feeling very agile these days, man.
well, I can. Well, you don't feel worse than me. I can't even run right now with this
Yeah.
Achilles, man. So,
That's crazy. I mean, what's
but
the outlook on that? Are you thinking you're going to try and come back, or where are you at on
yeah,
that?
like I said, I'm doing physical therapy like twice a day, bro. I've been working. I go swimming every day.
Where are you at right
Soon
now?
I say it again.
Where are you at right now?
I'm in Long Island. Yeah, I'm in Long Island
Okay.
right now. So it's better. I'm around my family doing no physical therapy. They say when you healing up. I never had surgery before, so everyone would just advertising that like, yo, stay around your family while you're doing everything. Let them help you out. Be around the love when you're recovering, just in case mentally you get down or whatever. So I've been here the
Yeah.
last couple months just trying to recover. And like I said, I'll see how I feel in the next couple months.
Where did you get injured at?
I got injured in Dominican Republic. I was playing in
Okay.
Dominican Republic.
Is that a
And
summer league?
no, the leagues is not like typically how we play. Like how we'll go to Turkey or
Yeah,
Germany
yeah.
or from August to May. The Latin American leagues typically start in like March or April.
Oh, okay.
This one,
Gotcha.
this one particularly started in May and it goes all the way into August. So I
Oh,
got
okay.
there. We lost in the playoffs in London. We lost in London. I got to I came home like on a Friday and flew to DR on Sunday. Came home for
Wow.
one day, yeah, and I started playing. I was there for like a month and a half. Like a week before playoffs, I got injured and ruptured my Achilles.
See, I never had any experience with the Latin American leagues. Is it more guard oriented there?
Yeah, it's kind of see. It depends on where you playing. Like when I played in Puerto Rico, I've been going to Puerto Rico since 2014,
Yeah.
and that league is like different because they only allow two imported players. Like now, each team got guys like Danilo. One team got Danilo Gallinari and JaVale McGee. It's like so that's the caliber of ex like NBA players or high level European players they got. So it's really like balanced to be honest with you. Because a
Okay.
lot of the Puerto Rican guys, a lot of them grow up in the East Coast of the United States. So most of them go to college, but they're natives. Like maybe their mom or their dad has some kind of Puerto Rican background. So they just go play over there in the summertime.
Two imports is tough, man.
To
They
imports. Like
had
when
see when I was in Germany, we could have six,
yeah,
and it was like, and then like the guy, like I played with a dude named Chad Toppert. He
right.
played for who did he play for? Did he play for New Mexico? He
I don't
might
really know.
have. He was a really good shooter. He's like 6'6", 6'7", shot like 43% from the 3-point line. And like that was back in 2012. 40% from the 3-point line was damn near unheard of. When we were in college, if you were a 30% 3-point shooter, you had the ultimate green light.
Yo, facts,
Like,
but I felt like I could shoot, and I had like a 33, 34% 3-point field goal percentage. Like,
but that was high in 2010, man.
Yep.
That was like crazy. But the big thing there was like trying to get your German passport. Because like so Chad played and was an American, but he had like his great grandparents or something never gave up their citizenship, so he was able to get it through like going through all the paperwork stuff. And like he got, not to say he wasn't a good player because he played for a lot of good teams and he was really good, but like he probably got paid 50% more than he would have as an American because he was able to come on as a German player.
That's the key, getting that. Because see, now when you get a citizenship from a certain country, a dual citizen, now they get to have, say if I'm 7 foot and I'm a decent player, now you get the passport, we get to bring you on the team too, and now we get to go buy another American that's really
Right.
good at center. So you could go get multiple players in that same position where it's like, okay, yeah, this is a luxury right here. That's why having that passport is a plus from those other countries.
So where's the your favorite place to like? I know that I think I talked to Cheeks, and I want to say the last time I talked to him about where his favorite place was to play was, I think he said Israel.
Yeah, Israel is unreal, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
you guys played out there at the same time, right?
yeah, he hit a game winner on us one time, like
Damn.
buzzer beater. He hit a buzzer beater when I was on Hapoel Holon. He was on Hapoel Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
And I had Jordan Taylor. I had Jordan Taylor on my team from Jordan Taylor, James Bell from Villanova, and Darian Atkins that went to Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a nice little team that year.
What did it look like out there with the imports? How many could you have there?
I think you could have 4. So you could have 5 if you wasn't in an international competition, because that year we were just in the Israeli league.
Yeah.
So you can have 5 on the team, but for the game you only could register 4.
Okay.
And 3 of us could be on the court together.
Okay, that's how it was in Turkey.
Yeah, but that was when we went to Turkey when we were like rookies or early. But when I was just in Turkey before COVID, at that point you could have 5 Americans on the court. Like they no longer had that rule anymore.
Yeah, because they had. So I played in the second league of Turkey, and they had.
See, second league I think it was like 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah, we had the second league. I was playing for a team called Garrison, and bro, Turkey was a different monster, dude. Like we went through 3 head coaches. They went through
Turkey was different.
They went through every single Turkish player, every American player except for me had been transferred. And I remember I looked at them at one point. They owed me like 3 months, and I was just
that
like,
was my rookie year. They did that.
I was like, if you let me out of here, you can have the money.
Yeah, my coach told me in Turkey. I never forget. We were like 0-2, 0-3, and like no, this is one year, my rookie year. My coach in Turkey quit, and we watched. Like next week, he came and watched us play. Like he didn't get on the bus. Nothing. Next time we seen him was the following week. He just went up to the stands and watched our game the next time. Then one other time we were there. The coach was threatening us like, all you Americans, if we don't win this next game, y'all going home. I'm gonna be the last one standing. Like a month later, he got fired before any of us or anything. I'm like, yo, Turkey was different. But what I liked about Turkey when we first got, like, that's the first time I seen like people delivering. Like you could call McDonald's at 3 o'clock in the morning and they'll bring it to you on a scooter. Like in Turkey, you could PF change. Yeah, it was different, bro. Turkey was, and that was my first year, so I kind of was traumatized from Turkey, to be honest. My first year, but then the next time I went, I stayed in Istanbul, Turkey. It's like 5 New York cities in one. It's like 30 million people in Istanbul, so that joint was lovely. I enjoyed Turkey.
Istanbul was nuts. I was out on the Black Sea, man. I was 1,000 kilometers from Istanbul, but it was probably the best food I've ever eaten in my life out there.
Yeah, between Israel, Turkey, Puerto Rico is the best, because Puerto Rico I could fly home like on off days. It's 3-hour flight, so I will always go home all the time and then bring my family down. You live on the beach, all the
nuts.
games. You get the,
Not
you know, you
bad.
drive like 2 hours to the game. It's like literally, I played in Puerto Rico like 7, 8 different years, like literally in the summertime. So I enjoyed it. I played on 4 different teams there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that
But
job was love.
man,
Yeah.
Cap and Coop, you guys got anything, man? I don't want to take up too much of
Yeah,
Tu's time here. He's a
Captain
busy
Coop,
man.
man. I never did a podcast like this before than Sean Miller, man. So you got me right now, bro. So
It's
Captain
different. I
Coop,
appreciate it, man. I appreciate the honesty
yeah,
too, man. It's been cool kind of seeing you chop it up on Twitter a little bit, man. And
yeah,
it's so funny, talking to like the dudes nowadays, but like your guys' era was so different. I feel like the
yeah.
08 to 12 was so different. I mean, like walking into like Derek Brown and BJ Raymond and Dante Jackson, like what would you say, like, man, you just think about those guys, like what do they mean to you? And like what was like your freshman, sophomore year like learning from those guys?
You said Dante, Derek Brown, who else?
Dante, Derek, BJ, you had
DJ.
CJ, who
You
was a
know,
senior your freshman year.
they were they were they were culture guys. You know,
Yeah.
they showed us the way. Like they showed us the culture. You know, all of them, I got a personal relationship with all of them. You know, all of them helped me out greatly. I respected all of them. I still respect all of them to this day. But they were basically culture guys. They didn't really understand me and Cheeks too much because we was New York guys and we wasn't really like, we like, yo, we gonna figure it out how we figure it out.
Right.
But we still respected them enough and allowed them to understand what they established before we got there was important for us to continue once we left that place. But I went to war with them. You know, I was a freshman point guard and they had me helping lead the team and helping win some games sometimes. So they embraced me and they knew, that I played hard for them and it was nothing but family.
Yeah,
It was a great experience of being with them. I actually missed them once
yeah.
once they was no longer on the team and I didn't get a chance to play with any of them anymore. But they definitely were true warriors of the musketeer fabric. Like they definitely are guys that's anchors to what Xavier basketball mean. A lot of
Mhm.
wins, a lot of memorable moments. Did more with their teams than I did with any of my teams. They got elite eights and stuff that we didn't do. So, they were definitely guys that helped me, another group of guys that helped me be who I was while I was there.
Man, it's crazy to think about CJ, man. Like just the way that CJ approached every single game. That dude,
Yeah.
man, he
True
like
warrior.
warrior, bro. Like he would have killed somebody to win a game. And I
No,
like
that's a fact.
watching him my freshman year was so crazy.
Yeah, it was when you go into war with guys like that, it help you not fear for war when you go
Yeah,
into
yeah.
war with someone like that. So you feel protected. Whatever nervousness or jitters you got going on, you look to your left, you look to your right. You like, oh no, I could win. I got so and so to my left. I got so and so
Yeah.
to my right, and they brought that calm in. They wasn't too hard on me. Plus, they were just like, yo, this is what we got to do. This is how we gonna do it, and just
Yeah.
try to make it happen.
Do you remember playing man, you guys are gonna have to remind me who did we play in the tournament first round freshman year? Was
Port,
it Portland
Portland
State?
State and Boise, Idaho, Portland State.
Dude, that game. Do you remember CJ in the warm up lines for that game?
No, I probably was so nervous. I probably
Dude,
couldn't even
dude,
worry about nobody else at
so
that time.
at Selection Sunday, Portland State's coach got on there and was talking about
I
how they
remember
matched
that
up
because
really
we
well
watched
with
that. I
us.
remember we watched that. They
Yeah,
was excited, and I'm
yeah,
like, bro, they don't even know us. Like, of course they just
yeah,
happy they in the tournament. They don't know
bro.
us. Bro.
And
Like,
then,
yeah.
bro, CJ was walking in the line every single time he went back to get to the rebounding line or the layup line. He's talking shit to them like, "You motherfuckers were happy a couple days ago. You're
Yeah,
about
because
to
it was a
lose."
guard. It was a guard named like Dominique something, and he
Yeah,
was like, yeah, I remember he was the one that was excited. So I remember CJ drawing with him a little bit.
yeah,
That's what I do
dude.
remember. But
I
yeah,
like my sophomore year. It was a different feeling to that team without CJ around. And that's nothing
yeah,
nothing bad against BJ and
yeah,
and Derek, but like CJ was just like you
yeah,
said, like if you walked into that and you didn't feel. I never felt any. Not that I didn't feel fear in my sophomore year either, but my freshman year, like having that buffer between me and the other team was a big deal because CJ would get after all of us too, like in
yeah.
practice and all that stuff. But like when it came to be game time, it didn't matter what was going on. Like he had your back no matter what. He was the first
For
person
sure.
helping you up. He was the first person pushing somebody off you. Like it was good to have him around, man.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. He definitely was one of the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
I got a
definitely
quick question too. Was it ever tough, like coming in from New York, and I've been around Mark, and was it tough, maybe feeling like a little bit misunderstood, like coming into Cincinnati and being in the mid, because a lot of our guys are Midwest guys, Indiana guys, Ohio guys. Did you feel misunderstood for a little while? Did it take some time to kind of get into a rhythm?
Nah, I'm pretty clear how I am to make people understand me. So being misunderstood never was like that's kind of like people that's like an excuse sometimes when people feel sorry for themselves, like, oh, I'm just misunderstood or
Mhm.
nah, I was understood really well. I'm here to be the point guard and do what I gotta do. Like it's simple as that. Like it was pretty simple. I was in Ohio too. Before I went to Xavier, I spent a year in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
so
I got another thing too with Kenny. We've talked about this with how much Xavier's grown. I mean, it was a different time back then. I remember like going at UC was still a bit of an uphill climb. It felt like, at least nationally. And now you've got, the Big East and how far they've come. They got a 1 seed. Do you look at some of that stuff with pride, like knowing like a lot of that stuff is stuff that you guys built?
yeah, but to be honest, and I hate to say it, like the city is named Cincinnati, bro. Like it's gonna be hard for until we really do something they didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Like they still win it, they still got the series. You understand? Like now, like we closed the gap, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely closed the gap, but shit, if they get a new coach in there and they revamp it again all over, it's gonna be back to an uphill battle. Like
Yeah.
so, you feel me? But we definitely closed the gap. Even when they were the number one team in the country, we still were beating them. Because that's just how that rivalry go.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I feel like they still we of course we're a hell of a team and we got what we got going on at Xavier, but we still looked at as the little bros a little bit. But we definitely of the past 25 years, clearly the better team, better program, but it's still UC. I was a UC fan growing up as a kid, so
They were
Oh,
tough
boy.
back then.
Oh,
They were
boy.
tough.
yeah.
But
Well,
but something that me and two were talking about on Saturday after the game was like UC and Xavier all the time. It feels like there's that one guy like Trey came out this year had 30. You had guys like Trayvon that had 40 in a game, or somebody that has some crazy outlandish game to beat them. And the thing that was like he was saying to me, like, we never really had anybody that had like crazy performances in the Cincinnati
yeah,
games,
not
because we were
4
just
years
we were
ago.
just better teams. We were just
Yep.
a better team those 4 years. So it was like
Yeah.
it's a different.
Yeah, it
I
didn't
think
come down to like a crazy, like maybe like the biggest duel I would say in our 4 years was like I could say our sophomore year we won in double overtime. Lance had 20
Yep.
something, I had 20 something, but it really wasn't that much of like in our games. Oh, somebody had a crazy spectacular. Without that performance, we lose. It kind of the one time they beat us is like we barely scored. It was 60, like
Mm-hmm.
66, 46 or 63,
Yep.
43, something like that. And then every other time we played, it was just like moderate scoring games, but it was just like we won by a lot or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was never
Yeah.
no like a crazy performance or crazy game winning shot. It was never nothing like that.
And we all went to the shootout on Friday, of course, and Xavier gets the win. And I don't know if you saw it or not, but everyone starts doing the zip them up at the end of the
Yeah, I
game.
was at my little cousin's, man. He had a high school game. He lost by 20 points. I missed the crosstown shootout to watch his game. He got blown out. I'm like, damn, bro. Like,
Oh
yeah,
man.
I
That's tough.
seen I seen
Well,
everybody because I'm trying to and my phone died. So I
oh,
didn't get back to my phone until like it was like 56-43 when my phone
Mhm.
finally came back on. And then I'm like, all right, we good. So I was in the car and then we went to get something to eat. And the next thing you know, I see we won by like 4 or something.
Close.
well, if you need a
Yeah.
recap, check our Twitter. We have our post game show pinned on
Yeah,
there. But no,
I don't
what I
really
was
I
gonna
just like to see the W, bro. I don't even care about but I did see Trey's performance. That was pretty cool to see his
yeah.
performance. But he had like 30, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30. And then someone, a reporter in the post-game presser, asked him, he was trying to get him to answer a certain
I
way.
feel like he was baiting him.
I
Yeah.
won't get into it, but he asked him like where the zip 'em up came from.
Yeah.
And Jovan Milicevic kind of interrupted it and said to Holloway. I mean
Yeah, I'm pretty
that's
sure
gotta
they
be
don't
kind of
know. They don't know who I am, so I wouldn't expect them to say my name. Most of them probably don't, and they just know it's they're part of the culture, so they ain't gonna know who I am like that.
But I think it's cool because like Kenny's told it like 36 times on this podcast that the first day he gets to campus, they tell you you don't like Cincinnati, you don't like the Bearcats,
Yeah, that's a
and it's kind of
yeah,
been downplayed as of late. Like not really buying into it is what it seemed like, but it turns out that was all just media training, and that they're showing like highlights and probably the brawl and stuff like that during recruiting visits once players get to
yeah.
campus. So like
We
that's
never.
still alive.
Yeah, that's just a way of life when you certain things. But we never had any like we never publicly spoke about UC in our career. We didn't speak about them until the brawl.
Mhm.
Right.
But we never like we were going to the tournament, we were winning. That's just a game on the schedule that we gotta win, but it's not like
Mhm.
damn, we gotta worry about Cincinnati or Dayton
Mhm.
or anything
Right.
like that. We was in A10. That just we spoke about them because they spoke about us first. That's the only reason
Yeah.
why that came up. But it wasn't
Mhm.
like I'm waking up saying, damn, I gotta beat UC. Like that just we better
Well,
Right.
team. That's what
right.
we're
And
gonna do.
the zip them up stuff started before UC. People think that it was
Yeah.
because of UC that you said that.
Yeah.
But like, but you guys, I mean, from my memory, it all started, and I don't even know who it was that started it, but somebody started talking, and it may have been CJ that said it, started talking about like road kills, putting
Yeah,
him in
road
body
kills.
bags,
Yeah,
and
body
like,
bags, road kills, all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. And then it was just like, obviously there's a perfect storm of events that come up, and that zip them up gets put up on national media, and it's
Yeah.
replayed over and over for the last fucking
I
15
always
years.
say I always say to bro, if I have that press conference after a regular game, it's okay. The
Mhm.
reason with the brawl is you actually see Kenny Freeze with a busted eye, bleeding, guys fighting, looking
Mhm.
crazy. That's where everything went wrong. Cause to be honest, one thing about like we go watch all the sports in the world, you're never really gonna see. I mean, you could see fights in basketball because it's so black dominant. But basketball, the NBA fighting is forbidden. Like you go punch somebody in an NBA game, you're getting suspended. You're losing millions of dollars.
Mhm.
Hockey, they fight. Baseball, they clear the dugouts.
Yep.
Like football, you see squabbles all the time. It's just what happened is you literally seeing someone being punched in the face on ESPN.
Yeah.
That's where it ramped the energy up. And then you got a kid on TV talking about thugs and gangsters. So it's like, oh wow, what the fuck is going on? These guys lost their mind. But in all reality, if it's just a regular press, could you hear these terms all the time?
Mhm.
You understand? You hear these terms, damn, that guy, he's a cold-blooded killer. He's this, he's fucking
Mhm.
thug. Like, you hear it all the time, but to actually see someone on the court being punched and throwing punches, that's what caused the energy to just go like, oh, this shit is for real. Like
Yeah.
fans right now, there's a fan yelling at someone, there's a fan cursing someone out. But when you see Ron Artest jump in the crowd and it's an arena, he's like, oh, this shit is for real. Like, it just something just went left really quick, and then now it's like, oh, everything is ramped up. Yeah.
Did your life change after that? Like, what? Because I remember just waking up the next morning. It's the first story on First Take. Like,
Yeah, that's
and
it's just weird because you go from one day where everybody's like I'm watching Ohio State versus Duke and Dick Vitale is like, ladies and gentlemen, if the season ended today, Holloway is the national player of the year. You understand? You like everybody that's talking. You see Xavier, we just went to Vandy. We did
Mhm.
that. Then we come back against Purdue. It's like, yo, he's a first round guaranteed pick. Dana O'Neal, everybody, yo, this is the best player in the country. I was voted the number 4 prospect by CBS at that time, coming in the car. So it was just a lot.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh nah, you're not never going to the NBA or nothing, right? Like I'm like, what the fuck I do? Like they
Mhm.
could track, but then yeah, it was just like, but that instance, and that goes back to when Kenny talked about the intensity. You understand? So at that now, my coming into college, I knew okay, I'm intense because I don't want to go back home. And then after
Mhm.
that situation happened 4 years later, your intensity go to another level where you could be like, yo, bro, in the blink of an eye, everything could change.
Yep.
You understand? Like, so you look at different situations and then you be like, wow, like I didn't even do nothing for real. Like they were talking about me or they were this and that, but it's like, yo, bro, whatever the masses think, that's the truth, or that's how things change.
Yeah.
And it's got to be tough too. I think about college athletes all the time. We were talking to Edmund Sumner, who's had a really good NBA career, and he grew from 6'2" to 6'6" or 6'3" to 6'6" in college. And you talk about it, it's like 1 year you're a freshman, you're starting half the season. The next year you're behind Jordan Crawford, but still have a big role. And then before you know it, it's like you're one of the best players in the country. Like, what's it like? Just like your profile raising that quickly. Like, how do you adjust that fast?
To be honest, watching the rest of the guys that had success, like once I had success in my sophomore year, like the Richmond game, I had 20 something, Cincinnati game, 20 something, 20 something in the tournament. And I knew that I knew that it was able for me to do that. Like I was honestly groomed to do that. Like I worked on my game to have success.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I was just ready for that moment, to be honest with you. Like I was just ready for the moment. I knew I worked hard. I knew I had pure skills. So that's all it was for real. I would just over that time I was preparing myself every day. Kenny will tell you I was in the gym shooting 20, 30,000 shots because I'm like, yo, I'm looking at other people having success, so I felt like, nah, I'm just as good as him. I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I hear about you, that's what I hear. Just in the gym, the hard and doing the most. And then I'm always interested. I'm a big Kobe fan, and what I love about Kobe is like the off the court stuff, the mindset stuff. Like, what would you say? Because obviously, I think your play on the court is a reflection of who you are, in your head. What would you say are some like the biggest lessons that maybe you carried, like some of your wisest words that helped you be successful?
Like basically, who you doing it for? Like that. I just come from a tough neighborhood, man. These people gonna talk bad. They gonna love you, but they gonna talk bad about you if you don't do what you're supposed to do, bro. Like I could have went to college. I averaged 8 points for a career, and that's not good enough, man. Yeah, he went to school. He ain't do nothing. So that's really my neighborhood was in my head. When I come back home in the summertime, I could have had 40 points in the game, but if I missed a crucial 3-pointer, that's damn, you missed that shot, man. How you like? So this is the thing that honestly fueled me so much in my career, like knowing I got to come back to my neighborhood.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
All right. One of my last questions too. Your senior year, absolutely wild. I think you guys were up to number 8 in the country. Yeah. Obviously, the UC thing happens then.
We were number 5, man. Something like that.
Up to number 5, excuse me. And then you guys miss 6 games, and it's like we were talking to Kenny, and it's like all of his best teammates are gone, and Kenny's getting triple teamed. You come back, a lot of adversity. Like, what was that locker room like having to uphill climb again, coming back?
To be honest, it wasn't with us. We were the same with each other. We didn't fight more or less. We were the same with each other, but it was just like when you're going through something, you want to fast forward to the end. You understand? You want to just you don't want to go through the recovery process, or you don't want to come in the house and cook the meal. You just want the gratification at the end of it. Like, all right, it's cool. So that was the thing where it's like, yo, bro, we losing right now. Trust me, like we go win. Like we gonna be all right. Like it's gonna be rough. We lost our confidence a little bit. So it was basically like, so when we made it to the Sweet 16, that was the best feeling that year. Cause it's like, yo, if we signed up for this in August, we was okay with losing in the Sweet 16. Like we did our job. Like, the hurtful part is that we seen what we thought, like, yo, we could have did what St. Joe's did when they were 30-0 and did this and did that. But it's like, yo, bro, it don't matter. Like we Xavier, we in Atlantic 10. Ain't none of us going to the NBA. We made it to the Sweet 16. We good. Like we reached our potential. Yeah. So that was my perspective the whole time. Like, all right, like just get to the tournament. Like you didn't come back to college. You came back to college to like improve your draft stock, but definitely to go to the tournament, bar none. So that was the main thing, to make sure we made it to that dance.
Yeah.
Oh man, what do you think, Ken?
Dude, I just think back to that. Shit, I want to see if this is my uncle just gave this to me.
Yeah,
that's a ticket to the Sweet 16 game at the Georgia Dome.
Oh yeah, tough. That was our last game.
Yeah, last game we played together, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's crazy to think about. It's crazy to think about all those times, man. Because I know, like you said, it was all like, it was all for the greater good of us getting better. And there was definitely some growing pains in there. Like I can vividly remember us having like a team meeting in a hotel
in Hawaii.
Yeah, and like really, really like that was probably the most heated anything got. Like we were really going at each other that day. But like at the end of the day, the thing was in the tournament, you didn't want to be the team that drew Xavier in
Yeah,
the
you didn't want
tournament.
to play like someone like damn, they're 11 seed. We got to play against Xavier. Wow, a 10
Yeah,
seed.
right.
Like that's just not fair. That's like us playing Marquette the year before. They got 5 NBA players. Like
Right.
Mac. I remember I remember in practice, Mac. Like if you do that, you guys are gonna lose. I said, Mac, no, we gonna lose to Marquette, bro. We know he know. Like, I never forget. So that's like vice versa. Now I seen the year. We were number 5, 6 in the country. Now someone got to play against us first round. They like, come on, bro, this is cheating.
Because at the end of the day, if you guys don't, if the fight doesn't happen and all that stuff, and we just keep continuing on, like we probably end up getting like a 2-3 seed, something like that.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah.
like then you got Notre Dame coming in, they got to play us the first round, like, and then we get Lehigh, and it was almost like a, you know, just like a blessing from everything we went through for the season. And then, you know, then you got to go play Baylor, and you know, Baylor was really good, but
we
just
didn't know that we could beat them until it was too late, and we fought back. We realized like
100%.
we were just as good as Baylor, or you know, we really could have beat them. But it just, you know, you watch people on TV just like they watch us, but like we, you know, you become fans of the game, and then you
Yeah.
realize like, oh shit, like we could beat Baylor.
Well, the crazy thing was with Baylor was like they were playing like 4 guys that were 6'10" all at the same
and
time.
that's the thing at the same time too, is that they just become like, sometimes you just don't have enough at a point, like, and that's really what it was. Like, you know, you got me, you, Cheeks giving our all, with the rest of the guys giving their all too, but now we got Inks, we got D Davis, we got Des Wells. You know, sometimes you have inexperience where they got seasoned 6'8" guys, or
Right.
and then at that point is where the pros kick in. Quincy AC, Quincy Miller, Pierre Jackson. Like at the end of the day, bro, sometimes the NBA players kick in, and that's the difference when you get to those Elite 8, Sweet 16s. Is like, all right, you're not Steph Curry. You're not beating someone this team by yourself. Okay, you could beat the
Yeah.
first 2 rounds or maybe upset Georgetown, but after a while, it's like you get to the Elite 8 versus Kansas. Like you're not beating those NBA guys with your team. Like that's what it gets to at a certain level, bro.
Yeah.
That team was nasty.
Yeah, it was.
Uniforms were awful though.
Their uniforms were disgusting. Yeah.
Greens. Ugh.
Well, we're talking about uniforms too. I do want to bring back the Jordan era. Man, those running mans with the Jordans were another level.
Yeah, that's elite. People like posting that picture of me. That was a night. I just got those shoes that morning too, I remember. And I was looking for something. I don't know what made me get those shoes, but I said, yo, these right here gonna go crazy with this uni.
That was
someone got those shoes too. I think she sent me a picture or one, because I threw like, yeah, somebody got. She said she's gonna bring it to the jersey retirement.
Oh,
that's tough.
Yeah, that's cool.
How do you feel about the jersey retirement? You excited for that day?
Yeah, it's amazing, bro. It's amazing for all of us. You know, we get to experience that, and it's, you know, now, you know, having, that's like even too far to even like when I first seen jerseys in there, I'm like, I'm never gonna do enough ever to get my jersey in here. Like that didn't even ever cross my mind to, like, even when you living for 4 years every day, you understand? Like you don't, I don't realize me practicing hard, me playing good in the games is warranted to get my jersey retired. Like, you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm just living every day. I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go to this gym and work out tonight so my jersey could be in the rafters. Or I'm not going to yell at Kenny to help to come block someone's shot or do something for me and make him play harder so my jersey would get, like, I was just living life every day for 4 years. I didn't think about getting my jersey retired.
It's got to be surreal too, like how much your play means to so many people. Like being a guy from New York and in Cincinnati, Ohio, like you'll be there and you'll get a huge standing ovation from 10,500 people. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing. But you know, it's just good because, you know, when you walk in a hallway, you know, they got all the NBA guys. I didn't have that opportunity to do that, you know. So at least, all right, people won't see my jersey in there. But you know, when I go in the arena, my jersey hang. It's my biggest basketball accomplishment in my life. And this is something outside of my family. You know, basketball is what I gave my life to. So to be able to be honored, that was like a tribute from God to be like, look, you were rewarded. You know, your work meant something.
And it's like with the likes of the only other ones, David West, Brian Grant, Byron Larkin, Romain Sato. Like it's
Trayvon Blewett.
Blewett. One of my favorite players of all time. But you're definitely not going to go back to the neighborhood and have anyone saying you didn't get it done.
Yeah, they still gonna say that a little bit, man, but but it's gonna be some love included
It,
with it too. So
it's
yeah,
ruthless, man. But no,
yeah,
it meant a lot, man. And I could even just tell you, just like being around you at TBT, it's like when you walk in a room, it's like, whoa, Two's here. You know,
Yeah.
it's a big deal having you around, man. It's a big deal, and it's got to be cool too, because I'm sure there's a lot
but
of
But
I'm
you
a
know,
fan. But
but
I'm a
listen,
fan. I'm a fan of everybody too, though. That's what the kids don't know. I watch. You know, I'm that Xavier's in my heart, so it's not like oh two's here. Like, well, I tell all them. I DM them guys, all them that play. Like, I have a favorite player basically every year. I haven't watched this
yeah,
team yet, but Dante Maddox, I'm still
yep,
watching him in Belgium right now. Like, he was
yeah.
nice. He should have been our point guard last year.
He's a
Like,
dog.
he's nice. You understand? So I watch all the guys. You know, that's my university. That's what I gave my life to. So. I
and
watch it all. I'm a fan of all of those guys.
it's funny because like, obviously too, your no, your numbers going up in the rafters. You're one of the best players that's ever played basketball at Xavier. But man, you got that aura to you, man. Like when Two says something, and it's been like that since probably like our sophomore junior year. It's just like when Two's going, so like
So,
if Two's going to the party, if Two's tells you this or tells you that, like you listen to that shit. Like it's just that's what you do. Like you've always been kind of like a leader to all of us, man. And I like honestly, it really makes me happy to know that your jersey's going up there. And every single time I go back there, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna tell my son like that was my point guard.
yeah, nah, I tell my family asks about you, bro. Like my
yeah,
grandmothers, like we family, bro. We really family. At the end of the day, so it wasn't like that just my job. It wasn't like I was constantly saying, "Kenny, do this, do this, do that."
yeah,
For us to have success, I get yelled at by the coach when I don't tell y'all what to do.
right.
You
No,
feel me? So it was more so like, all right, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. It was more so just a lot. But I
yeah.
was just the general of the team, bro. It wasn't like
And
I
it's
was
also
there to
easier for me to
yeah,
say that now than as a 20-year-old. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely.
Like,
Yeah, definitely.
but
Trying to control. If I tell you to run 5 twists, I mean Mac tell me to run 5 twists and then you don't run it. Now he
yeah,
yelling at
right.
me. Now I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ken, come on, bro. Like you
yeah,
getting me yelled at, embarrassed in front of everybody now. Oh, the
yeah,
point guard not running the show. He ain't putting everybody where they need to be. You're not setting the table. So
yeah.
that
It's
was
it's
constantly
a different
where it was
different
at.
level of pressure for the point guard, man.
Nah, definitely, bro. But it was like I said, man. I enjoyed every second of being with y'all. It's important that y'all spend this time with me.
Hell yeah. Well,
Yeah.
two, I
Yeah.
appreciate your time, brother.
Mhm.
I will I'll be seeing you here in about a month and a half. Can't wait for that. That's gonna be a great day, man. We're gonna play
Right.
St. John's. We're all
Mhm.
hopefully I can get you out to Dana's that day.
Nah, come on, bro. My whole family gonna be there. We gonna own Dana's. It's gonna be called Kenny's that night.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, we
But
going to Kenny's. Dana will be called Kenny's on that night,
it
bro.
it was called Kenny's for 4 years. I don't need that anymore.
It's Kenny's, baby.
Kenny Gardens,
Yeah,
baby.
But I mean,
yeah.
Cap Coop, you guys got anything, man?
No, who's your college football team too?
I like Notre Dame, bro. I'm a big Notre
Ooh,
Dame.
Hey, how do you,
Fan.
we're
how do you
hurting.
guys feel about? I don't want to bring up the playoff, but opting out of a bowl game.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what happens. We here for one thing. We here to
yeah,
play in the playoff. We can't play. We don't want to play.
that's my thing. It's like why am I gonna if I'm Notre Dame, why am I gonna put a top 5 brand in a playoff game or in a bowl game that means nothing to
Yeah,
give
but it's good
to
for the
give
kids.
whatever network?
Some of these kids might have played their last football game ever. They didn't
Yeah,
chance to get a
yeah,
bowl
yeah,
game. But we know when we signed up for this, yo, listen, it's bowl collectively. Kenny, yo, is bowl is it's the playoff or nothing.
yeah. 100%.
So, yeah,
And
Yeah,
like,
man.
and I
I was
understand
kind of
from like,
surprised to be honest. I was kind of surprised that like, wow, they're not in it. But it's now the rules are going to continue to be revamped. I think because now
Oh,
some teams are going to be opting out to not play in the conference. Because it's like, all right, if you're going to hold losing in the conference, because Duke, if I'm Duke, I'm like, shit, I won the ACC. I should be in the playoff.
right.
it's,
Yeah,
You
it's a
feel me?
mess.
and
So, but then if like now if I'm BYU, I lose to Texas Tech, who's number 5 in the country. So now you kick me out of the playoff so now I'm not playing in my conference championship game. Let me just finish being ranked number 11 in the country, and I like my chances of making the playoff like that. But now, so it's going to continue to be more revamped. So, but it's way better than what the BCS Used to be all them
Yeah.
years ago when only 4 teams make it and you vote. Like now, at least you actually get to go play. But I think it should be a committee like basketball,
Yep.
like where you just pick 12 teams. You get a committee, you pick 12 teams, and you go like that, rather than some points, some with the team, some make the college. It's just a lot, but I think it'll be better in the future.
Yeah, I mean, thank God we have James Madison in the college football playoff. I think that
Yeah.
benefits everybody. But
I mean, I just don't think my opinion is like, I mean, first of all, I'm not going to watch the college football playoff this year because
I
like
am.
I just don't care about
Ohio
it
State
anymore.
fan.
But I can tell you one thing for damn sure, I'm not going to watch the teams that are going to play James Madison and Tulane. Like, why do I want to watch the game where somebody's going to get beat by 30?
But then again, you know, it gets
That's
tricky
happened.
because if you look at the Boise State and the games from before, it's like it turns into like think about basketball. We have so many Cinderella teams in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I'm
So
saying, but I was having this conversation on Twitter yesterday. Like, we're in a different world now, man. The money forces all the talent to the top. Like, you're not going to see Cinderellas in the NCAA tournament anymore.
no,
All
you
that,
are because this is when coaching.
Man.
This is when coaching come into play now. This
I
is
mean,
when a coach that don't have a lot of money could still convince good kids, yo, listen, come play here for me this year. You go win, you go do what we got to do, and you could go get some money next year.
yeah, but I mean,
Because
look
you
at
still got to coach again. Because look at everybody got money again now. Before the coaches that just had money was
right.
winning. Now we all got $5 million to spend. Now who can coach or who can go identify talent? Because you might give a kid that's only worth 200 grand $1 million.
Yeah, I mean that's true for sure. But like, I mean, you look at the tournament last year. The tournament last year was the closest to scratch I've ever seen a tournament. Like you
Yeah.
had what was it, 4 number ones or 3 number
was
ones and number 2 or
like-
what? But like, it's just like you don't see that kind of stuff happening. There was no like major upsets last year.
Yeah, but I think that was like because even the year like when Virginia lost, and you remember Virginia lost as a
Yup.
16.
Yeah,
It wasn't no NIL then.
right.
I don't think it was NIL the year they lost to UMBC or something, but then they come win a national championship the next year. I
Yeah.
think sometimes it's just the way it goes. You know,
I mean, we'll have to see, like Shock. We're going to see what happens at Marquette because you got a guy like Shaka he's just not buying into the new way, and like that program's gone down in the last 3 years, and I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
But you see how what Shaka did all those years at
Yeah.
VCU or whatever. Like bro, I think it's just like I said, money don't mean people are good because now you got the wrong people that can't identify in talent just giving kids money.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah, you could have a 6 million. Look Kentucky. What they budget this year? So, like, Kentucky's
22.
like 5-3.
22
Yeah.
million.
Yep.
Yeah, but then you look at Louisville. You know, Kelsey's doing his thing. He know how to,
Yeah.
find the right guys in there. So it's
The
it's
biggest
just
problem,
different.
the biggest problem with the NIL stuff for me is like, with Xavier, people. I had somebody on Twitter the other day say that like, if it wasn't for like the smaller schools being able to rise up, like Xavier would have never done what they did, blah blah blah. But like, bro, Xavier did what they did because they did more with less over a 4-year period with guys that maybe weren't big time recruits coming out of high school. But now you have 6 months to work with these kids, and then they're off to the next school. So it's like it's tough to really find that like development as a program. So money doesn't solve everything, but it sure does help.
No, definitely help. That's more than half the battle. Just to even now, you gotta have a certain amount of money just to call a certain recruit. Like, oh no, they got what? No, that's too low for me. I don't even want to talk to that coach. So
Right.
it definitely half the battle.
All right, too.
Yeah.
I just want to say
bro.
thank you,
Well,
man.
brother.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything.
All
We're
right.
excited to celebrate you, man. Thank you, honestly.
Cool, Cap. Later, Kenny. Later. Appreciate y'all. All right.
Hey, stay
Yes,
blobbing,
sir.
baby.
Get healthy.
All right, baby. Cool.